last channeling, which was the emotion, what are emotions channeling, I got up some new information which seemed to be highly interesting, or gave me an understanding of how actually human works. And the most interesting story was, to get this started, was the human brain is like a piano. And that was like, wow, that is something really interesting. And to explain this idea, it's like imagine your soul or energy field, your energy body. He can feel everything within his aura. The energy body can feel everything within his aura, and the physical body is within this aura. And many months ago, I had a channeling with the Pleiadians. I asked them about the what is human body? How do they call the human body? They said the human body is a higher realm interface with this physical realm. And what does it mean? It means that higher energy beings cannot even interfere with this physical reality, and therefore they have this interface which helps to interfere with this reality. And how does it interfere? It's that in the nerve channels, what we have the humans is the nerve system. There are inside these nerve channels there are some kind of small crystals, really small, teeny crystals that the soul can interfere with. The energy body can move it a little bit. How does it happen? For example, imagine your brain is full with nerve system, with neurons. It's completely full, and the soul can interfere with these neurons. And what I understood, that the neurons, the nerve systems, the channel inside is like full with these tiny crystals. And what does the soul do is she moves a little bit, one or two or all the crystals in a pattern. For example, like a piano, if you touch these three, the notes go down, the key goes down, and it creates a rough surface on the piano, and it creates a certain tone of energy. And there is electrical impulses going through the nerve channels. And what the soul does, it moves the small crystals in certain patterns, that when the energy impulses go through these nerve channels, the pattern creates a vibration. The vibration then creates energy, as we know it, as a feeling, as a sensation, or even in the brain channels, a really high quality vibration that we can understand and perceive as images or sounds. And this is what the physical body does. When I touch this, statical electrical impulses are being created, and it gives me some kind of a feeling that I feel in my brain. But for example, the next thing is that the soul can, or energy body can interact with these nerve systems within inside the brain, and it can interfere with these billions and zillions of neurons that are inside the brain. And what it does, it starts sending energy through a particular region of the brain that corresponds with the movement of these fingers right here, for example. And the soul is energy body around all my body, and it feels the changes in the movement. It feels the changes in the aura. It feels the changes in the energy. How the hand is standing here, there's a different energy here and here, and then it understands that by touching these nerve systems, these nerve channels right here in this sector, for example, it affects the energy changes here, because the soul feels the changes are going on here, right? For example. And this was a really interesting information, but we will continue it. Also, the nerve channels, if in a certain pattern are placed, it creates emotions. For example, in the heart, for example, I don't know where it can be, solar plexus, like fears, or in the second center, like joyful and like excitement of achieving your goals. And it creates a certain crystal pattern and energy. When energy goes through, it creates a distinct type of a feeling, energy feeling, that we understood as emotion. And the emotions 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 are also felt by the soul as a different vibration, as a different energy vibration, and then the soul understands that this is a feeling which I like, this is a feeling which I don't like. But that's not the key point. The next thing, oh yeah, this is the story which I wanted to tell. And the next thing what I understood is the muscles. But in simple words, to keep it understand the story what I want to tell is that also people who have, for example, broken spine, and because of this broken spine, they do not feel their legs. And what I understood from this point was that the soul, which is here in the energy body, which is inside, it interacts with the neurons inside the head. Then these electrical impulses go through the body, for example on the feet, and you feel your feet and you start interacting with them. The energy body feels changes from the nerve impulses that were sent there. And the nerve impulses go out through the hand or the feet, and the soul feels a vibration there, and the soul feels changes there. But for example, if the nerve channel, for example, somebody has broken a spine, the nerve channels there are broken, and therefore no energy goes through the legs, and therefore the soul, the energy body, cannot sense energy changes, because the nerve channels shine or send through or create a distinct energy vibration that the soul picks up, the energy body picks up, feels, and registers and feels the changes. And therefore, if a spine is broken, the nerve channels don't go there, the soul, the energy body, does not feel any changes going on there, and therefore it doesn't feel anything there. That's what I was always thinking about. But if the nerve channels are broken or damaged, therefore the feet themselves cannot grow, the feet, or the legs, or whatever the channels are broken, they cannot grow. They should die out, because they don't receive the energy of life. But it's completely different story. The energy of life is the soul aura that gives. Neuron impulses give the registration and the sensation of the feeling, of the feeling that you have them. For example, it's like a movement and registration. I think I will park there. And the next thing is about the muscles, and that was another really interesting thing. What I understood was biochemical reactions, biochemical physics. It would be maybe sort in this particular name. And the biochemical reaction, how you understand how our muscles, how do muscles work, is actually imagine like where the bees live and store their honey. It's like a cellular structure, and this cellular structure is like full with small cells within inside. And many times when I understood the muscles, not all, but some are like this, wrapped around like this. Imagine if you take a string, you start rolling it, and they are in I don't know how it is, vortex. They turn into a vortex and then they stretch out. Many muscles are like this. And when I understood what the soul does, the energy goes through the nerve channels and affects, for example, the finger muscle here. And what happens there is that it's not the energy, electricity that goes through the nerves that moves the muscle up and down, but it's the biochemical reaction of the specially created or the specially manipulated bioelectrical nerve impulse that goes through the muscles, through the nerve channels. And this biomechanical impulse does not move the muscle. It changes the chemicals that are within inside the small cells, and these chemicals from the electrical impulse create a chemical reaction that we know something like a magnet, how a magnet works. And these cells, for example, you pulse an impulse there, and the chemical reactions happens there, and in all these cells, the cells turn like positive, 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 and they start stretching together. Or one cell turns positive, negative, positive, negative, and they stretch out. They stretch out, like they attach the cells from each other, and then these biochemical reactions that happen there create this magnetic effect. Like we take magnets, they stick together, we turn one upside down, and they go back away. And this happens through those biochemical reactions. And instantly, what I then understood is that all of these muscles create a byproduct, like a additional product, like it has to be cleansed out. And also the muscles need lots of metal, as I understood. They need also different sorts of these, but I think it's already known on the internet, these chemical, I don't know how to say, chemical things. I don't know different words, and I don't know it in different words. And this is another interesting information, how the body works. I don't know if I describe it clearly, because if I would have like a paper, if I would have if I could draw this, I could definitely draw it and create maybe a little bit more understandable. But this certainly created my perspective of, or a higher perspective, how does the human body works. I don't know it from scientific point of view, but from my logical mind and from my technical thinking, this gives up a high understanding